Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CCT, Certified Tangle Teacher. And I've had lots of requests on just how do I put my tangles together to create something like this. And so I'm going to do a series of lessons on how to create something from one of my templates. And this template will be available on my website, Inkidoodles.com, so that you can follow along in the lesson. We're going to start out and just go through each one of these tangles that I've put on here and show you how I do it. I'm not sure how many lessons it will be. We'll have to see. So we're going to start out with our template. And this is our template. And we're going to start with the S. And we're going to do this so that all the tangles are around the outside. So we're going to start out with one of Carol O's tangles. Try to find a tangle that reminds me of shine. And the first one that I think about, or the first couple, is Carol O's Afterglo. It is a fun tangle to do, and it has like kind of a starry look to it. So we're going to start out, and I'm going to start at the top of this S, and I'm going to do my tangle at the top of this S. And it starts with this stroke. And it must be a tiny little, I call it a tiny little asterisk. So we make our little asterisk, and then we do a little V down in each one of these little shapes. So we get that particularly. Now we're just going to echo around that shape. So I am just going to echo around the outside of that shape, and I'm going to continue to do that. I want to make sure my points are very pointed, they're not rounded, and my space is fairly even. You can see I went a little close there, but it's really not going to make a difference. And I'm just going to keep doing this, echoing. Now when I echo, if I run into my S, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to do what's called the holly ba, or drawing under. I want this one to be fairly large. So we'll stop here. Let's do one more. Okay, now we have it echoed out. Now we're going to take those lines that from here, and we're going to connect the points. And then I come out and make a little, so we connect those little dots, or those points. And they're not really even, so you can't draw a straight line. And now we come back and we're going to draw from the inner point, connecting those points going in. And if your line is a little wobbly, that's okay. It's just important that you connect each one of these little lines. And there we have Carol O's Afterglo. Now, I am going to continue to draw several of these around here, and you'll see the placements that I put them. And that will be our first step in doing shine. And now I'm ready to draw my points out. And now I'm ready to draw the ones in. And if you have little mistakes, no one's going to notice them. You can see that my lines don't exactly meet up, so I have to make my line a little crooked, and it just is in. You can see how beautiful this Carol O is a master at fine tangles. Put one up here. My little asterisk. And I sometimes will turn my paper around so that I can draw without putting my hand over the top. Don't be afraid to turn your work to allow you to draw at an angle that is easiest for you. And again, we're drawing under that S. We don't want to go on top of it. And I want to draw this Afterglo so it comes right up and bumps into the one next to it. You can see that I'm drawing under here, so it also is doing that holly bar effect. And now that I've gotten it all the way around, I can just do this half side. That's about right. Now I'm going to draw my lines out. And then my inner points in. And I go all the way to the center. I can turn it back around so I can see where I want to. Now, to decide where I put my next one, I just like a nice flow. And my first one, it really doesn't matter, but I am going to put another one right down in here just to give a balance. A lot of times I think, oh, I want an odd number, but I'm not sure whether, what I want. This one, no two ever turn out the same, but I want to put one. I'm going to put one about right here. I think that I can get a fairly large one to fit there. I don't worry about whether I go over the top of those single lines. It's okay. One thing I do want to keep track of is I want them fairly close. So I want to keep going. I don't want them to have a lot of space between, because that crowded look is part of that Zentangle fill where they bump up to each other and overlap. That is part of that Zentangle fill. So I feel like that's big enough for me. And now I'm going to draw my lines out. And I made a little mistake on this one. You probably saw me pause and look at it. I wasn't quite sure where I drew. I didn't draw it completely right, but you're not even going to notice. So there is Carol O's Afterglow on our template Shine. And this is part 1 of our Shine template Tangle lesson. You will see more until we get it finished. We will probably be in a series of about 5 or 6, I think. I'm just looking at the templates that I'm using. So here is lesson 1. Enjoy, and thanks for watching. See you on the next segment.